In September, I posted a video to my Facebook page, Wendy Rapp Psychic. The link is below in the description box. I asked clients and friends if they have any questions they'd like to see me answer here on YouTube to let me know. Today's video, I will be answering one of those questions about spirit guides. Hello friends, I'm Wendy Rapp, spiritual life coach and intuitive reader. On this channel, I help you as a spiritually awakened person grow and evolve on your soul's journey. The question that I'll be answering today comes from Margaret Musone0. Margaret, I hope I didn't butcher your last name. The question is actually a three-part question. I'll give you the whole question right here. She said, do you ever have spirits pushing their way in who obviously are not who they say they are? What do you do to have confidence you're connecting to the right person? And how have you made that guaranteed clear connection through the years? To answer your first part of the question, have there ever been any spirits who've pushed in who are not who they said they were? The answer to that would be yes. And this was way back when I was actually starting my spiritual awakening journey. I hadn't yet started my psychic development journey. I was simply opening up to new ways of thinking about the divine, having left my religion as a Jehovah's Witness. And it was during that time that my psychic abilities, which I've always had, started to kind of kick into high gear. And I decided one time I was going through a rough patch in my life at that time, and I decided to ask for advice or help. And I didn't do it in the right way, I guess, I know. Because I put it out there, anyone out there in spirit who can give me an answer to whatever this problem was. And the information I heard, and I heard it next to my ear, which is not how I usually receive information from the divine, but that's another thing. But I heard it, and it was something that was said that was very devastating and upsetting to me. And fortunately, I had someone in my life at that time that I worked with. Now, this is before I joined any spiritual community, knew about EarthSpirit or anything else. There was a gentleman at my work who was a level 2 Reiki practitioner. He was the only person I knew I could talk to. And I talked to him about what had happened, and he reassured me that no angel or guide from the divine would ever say such a thing to someone. They only give life-affirming, positive information that will help you move forward. So a rule of thumb here, if you are looking to connect with the divine and receive messages, make sure you make it clear. Only from the divine, from the highest source, those who are meant to be working with you in this lifetime and working with you for your highest good. If you put that stipulation out there and ask for information only from that particular group, because we all have a team of guides that we work with, only from that group, you will receive information that is from the highest source. And that leads us to the second part of Margaret's question, which is, what do you do to have confidence that you're connecting to the right source? Well, that very upsetting experience made me want to run out and go to the bookstore and start doing more reading on connecting with my angels and guides. And fortunately, I found a book that I absolutely love. I'm going to show you. It's called Ask Your Guides. It's by Sonia Choquette, and it's a great book. I love anything by Sonia Choquette. Whoops. I love anything by Sonia Choquette. I hope I didn't mess up. She is a wonderful psychic and intuitive, and she gives wonderful guidelines and steps in here to help you meditate, help you open up to your guides, and explains the do's and don'ts that go along the way. So this was really helpful. This particular book, I not only met one guide, I met, well, over a half a dozen. I know them all by name. I know the roles they each play in my work that I do, and every time I do a reading, I call them in by name. And the other thing to keep in mind when you are opening up to your angels and guides, you need to take time, as I did. I spent years learning how they communicate with me and learning to recognize their voice over my own ego. Not even other energies or spirits, just my own ego. And it takes years of development before you're ready to actually move forward and do readings for others. So if you're planning on doing readings for other people and you're psychically developing, give yourself time to learn to recognize their voice and their wisdom over your own. That's really important. And the third part of Margaret's question is, how have you made that guaranteed connection through the years? Well, that comes with work. You work at it. You meditate daily. You pray daily. And by prayer, I mean I talk to my guides. It's not a formal ritualized prayer. It's me just speaking to spirit. But the information I get back is always so on point and so loving and so helpful for me and calming. Even if I don't have an immediate answer to a problem, I feel calm, and that's how I know I'm with them. That's the other thing. I know when I invite them in, when I do a reading, I can feel, they're always with me, but when I invite them in for a reading, I can just feel their peace and their love and their calming spirit with me. And that's usually a big sign that you're working with the right people or the right spirits. But there are some practical things you can do as well to maintain your connection with the divine. And I've mentioned these before in other videos. The first is really meditation. Practice, practice, practice. It's good to be open. It's good to keep yourself clear. It's good to use meditation to help align your chakras, to make sure the energy is running clearly through you. It just keeps you as a channel more open. The other thing that you can do is be careful of what you eat. I know people don't like to hear me say that, but I'm not talking about any kind of a strict diet, but just be careful about the types of foods you eat. Eat foods that are nourishing and helpful to you, because that also helps to keep your system running in an optimal way. The other thing you should do is proper sleep. You really need to be rested, especially if you're going to do any kind of spiritual work. It is very taxing on the body, because we have to raise our vibrations to meet our angels and guides energy. So definitely get proper rest. And I would say, if you are going through something in your life that has you very upset, or that's very difficult for you to deal with in some emotional way, for instance, grief, or if there's a divorce, or a move, I mean anything that just kind of upsets your whole world. That can also make it difficult to freely connect when we're emotionally like all over the place and we can't calm ourselves down. It's okay to be in that place and work through whatever that is, but I can tell you from my own personal experience as well that when I've been in those kinds of situations, it's best that I step back a little bit from the psychic work or the spiritual work, because I'm not being a clear channel for my angels and guides. Also, if you're sick or if you're feeling like you're coming down with something, as soon as I feel I'm coming down with something, I call into work and say, I'm not coming, I'm staying home, take care of myself, because I know even being unwell can make it more difficult for you to be a clear channel. And lastly, it really, really is important to make sure that you ground yourself daily, call in the white light, surround yourself with the white light. It's a protection for you. It keeps anything negative at bay, and only what's loving and divine can get in, and only love can go out. So it's very important that we shield ourselves in the white light every day, throughout the day. It's also important that we make sure that we are asking for help only from those who are working with the divine, who are assigned to us to work with us for our highest good. Margaret, I hope that answered your question for you, and I hope everyone else enjoyed the information. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I upload a new video every Sunday, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, the links are below in the description box. As always, remember, you are a spark of the divine. Share your light with the world. Blessings.